welcome to Ty's Conscious Kitchen. Today I'm making an alkaline veggie lasagna, and the items I'm using are currently on Dr. Sebi's nutritional guide. So let's begin. First we're going to start with our sauce. I'm going to take about 12 plum tomatoes, and you can leave the skin on it. Just wash them. I like to cut them in half. I'm going to start with half of them. Then we're going to add some seasonings. I have some basil, oregano, onion powder, sea salt, and cayenne. I'm going to have a little bit of agave to it for sweetness. Then we're going to blend it until it's nice and smooth. Then I will add the other tomatoes when it starts up. Now that my sauce is done, I'm going to add it to a saucepan on a medium heat. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to reduce the heat to a simmer. Then we're going to let it simmer for about 2 hours until the sauce thickens. Now I'm going to start with my lasagna noodles. I like to flour the surface. Then I'm going to take my spelt dough. I'm going to start rolling it out. Make sure you flip it. Make sure the surface is nice and floured. I like to make my own pasta because sometimes it's hard to find lasagna noodles. So the link for the recipe will be in the description box below. And you want to keep rolling out till it's nice and thin. Make sure you flip it and keep everything nice and floured to surface. Now that I have my pasta nice and thin, about an 1/8 inch thick, I like to take my pastry cutter, and then I like to make my noodles. So you try to keep it in a straight line. Then we're going to cut each noodle about 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches wide. And what's nice about this, we don't have to boil it, we could just bake it. That's one of our lasagna noodles. Now we're going to start with our next step. We're going to take 2 cups of cooked spelt berries, 1 cup of cooked chickpeas. Then we'll add some seasonings. I have some onion powder, some fennel powder, some oregano, sea salt, and basil. And we're going to pulse this a few times and blend it. Now this is a perfect alternative for a ground meat. There it is. Next up, we're going to oil our pan. We're going to saute about 1 cup of chopped onions, and also 1 cup of peppers, tricolor and green peppers. I'm going to saute it at a high heat for a few minutes. Add a little salt to it. So after about 5 minutes of sauteing the vegetables, I'm going to add my spelt and garbanzo bean mixture. And we're going to let this cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. It actually will brown a little bit. And we're going to actually add some of this delicious alkaline garlic sauce. Now the alkaline garlic sauce doesn't have garlic in it. It just has seasonings that mimic garlic. And the recipe link will be in the description box below. So after about 10 minutes, you can see that it's actually browning. Now we're going to make our cheese for our lasagna. I'm going to take 2 cups of soaked Brazil nuts, 1 cup of warm spring water. I'm going to take a tablespoon of sea moss gel, which helps the cheese to be nice and smooth. I'm going to take a tablespoon of hemp seeds. We're going to add some seasonings. I have some basil, some oregano, onion powder, and sea salt. Then we're going to blend until smooth. Check the texture. It's a little thick, so I'm going to add a little bit more water, maybe like a 1/4 cup at a time. Now that my spelt garbanzo bean mixture is done, I'm going to add about 3 cups of tomato sauce and blend it. But make sure you set aside 1 cup of tomato sauce for the top of the lasagna. Before we build the lasagna, I like to take some mushrooms, slice them pretty thin. Then we're also going to take some zucchini, and we're going to cut these long ways, because if you don't have lasagna noodles, you could actually use these instead of noodles. But make sure you cut them pretty thin, 1/8 inch or so. Now we're going to build the lasagna. This is some of the sauce, the cup I told you to keep. Just going to put a little bit on the bottom, so the noodles don't get stuck to the bottom. We're going to lay our noodles. I like to lay them one way in the beginning, and then I turn them the other way. Kind of like holds the lasagna together better. After we get our noodles down, we're going to take some of the zucchini planks, put them right on top. Then we're going to take our mixture, put that on top. Then we're going to add some of the cheese to it. I'm going to add the mushrooms on top of that. Then we're going to add more of the noodles, and we're going to repeat the step again. Now we're about to top off our lasagna. We did about 4 layers of lasagna. We're going to top it off with our spelt mixture. Then we're going to top it off with our cheese mixture. Then we're going to take our remaining tomato sauce and go around the edges of it. Now we're going to put our lasagna in the oven at 350. I topped it off with a little bit of dried basil. So after about 40 minutes, the lasagna is now done. It looks good. And there it is, Alkaline Veggie Lasagna. It looks delicious. And it really tastes delicious. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.